Monarch Money has called itself a budgeting app for couples for quite a few years now. And the only features they've really had for couples is the ability to have two different logins. So there was a lot to be desired when it came to couples features. But they have recently released a new update that does allow couples to now assign accounts and transactions to each other so that you can have now a separate view of net worth and cash flow. So this new feature is a step in the right direction toward being a budgeting app for couples like they have promoted for some time. So let's dive into what these features look like, how to use them, and how they're going to benefit you. I will say that this is usually just going to benefit folks who are budgeting together but have separate accounts. That's usually where couples budgeting features really thrive, are folks who are budgeting separately but would like to come together to plan their finances. So let's dive into it. And a quick little introduction. My name is Taylor. I'm a financial coach, and I help couples create cash flow systems and set up their budgeting apps so that they can be successful with their day-to-day spending. Now, I will say right off the bat that this new feature does not affect the budgeting capabilities inside Monarch Money. It's a nice add-on to the app, but the overall app still functions the same way, and the budgeting features are not yet able to separate for couples. That is still just one budget, but there are workarounds to run a successful separate budget if that is what you're looking for. There are still very good workarounds for that. But let's talk about what this new feature does do and how it's going to help you out as you manage your finances. So first off, a little demo. When you log into Monarch, you probably were alerted to this shared finance feature, and it prompted you to edit the owners of your account. Now, you will only have one owner if you're the only one in your Monarch. So if you are the only person in your Monarch, then you're just going to have one option here. So if you want to invite your partner, you just need to go to your settings. That's that gear icon on the top left-hand side or at the bottom with your name. And you can click on members. This is where you invite new members to your household. So this is where you send your spouse a email. You type in their email, they get a login, and they can access your Monarch. Now know that when you give someone access to Monarch, they have access to everything that you see. It is not restricted in any way, so make sure you give that access carefully. So you give your partner access, they can come in, they can add accounts, they can mess with budget, they can do everything that you can do. So once you add them and you have two household users, we're going to call ours demo and household, maybe it's partner one, partner two, you can go to your accounts and now assign, by clicking on edit owners, assign which accounts belong to partner one, partner two. You can select who it belongs to or if it's shared. This means that you can see your net worth separately and together. So once you've done this, you can go ahead and press save. And you can now go ahead and filter by owner. So you can see just maybe partner one's net worth, partners two's net worth, or all together. And of course, you can see it side by side. So lots of different options to actually view your net worth as well as performance. You can track each other's growth separately and your progress if that's what you're trying to do with your budgeting app. Now, when you assign a partner to an account, it does have another column here that's going to be at a glance, tell you who owns what. So notice it is not separated when you do run all three. But if you look at just one partner at a time, then you can only see their accounts. There's no way to hide accounts from one partner to another. It is full visibility. Each partner can filter these the exact same way you can. Now that you've given an account a ownership, whether it's shared or just one partner, your transactions are now going to be separated as well by that default. So if you marked your joint credit card, your Amex, as owned by partner one, all of those transactions are automatically going to be assigned to partner one. So we can see Airbnb is assigned to partner one. Now, don't worry if partner one takes your credit card and puts some stuff on there. You can obviously change it by transaction. So it's not on just an account level. You can change it per transaction. You can decide if this was a joint expense or if this was someone else's expense, and it will help you as you run your cash flow reports. So it is a little tedious to get to. It's not as easy as just changing category. You do have to click on more details for a transaction and select owner. I want to point out that this selection does really work like a glorified tag. If you were using tags to do this in the past, it's kind of the same thing. It's just in its own group, its own section, and it's not with your other tags, so it does reduce a lot of clutter. And it's also a little bit more efficient than tags, because tags are easy to miss a transaction with, right? Not every transaction necessarily gets a tag, and that can help you, or that can hurt you when you run reports because you'll miss transactions. But in this case, if you've marked an account as owned by someone, every single transaction will have a tag, whether it's demo, shared, or household. So it's got to be one of them. That way you don't miss any transactions. So what that does, what that ownership does, is when you run reports now, you can now filter for ownership. So you can run a report on just partner one's expenses that have been tagged for partner one, partner two, or the shared household, or of course all of the above. When you do this, that will give you the option to, see everything all at once, one at a time. Basically, anywhere you see a filter option, whether you're in your transaction page or if you did go to budget and you selected, let's say you want to look at how your gift spending is going this year, if you see a filter option, you probably have the ability to sort by owners, which is great. It helps you at a glance be able to see historical trends. But that's about it. That is where those features kind of end, is on the reporting side. So budget is still one budget. There's no way to filter for her different budgets. It's all still together, but that's okay. Remember, there are workarounds. I have plenty of clients running separate budgets together on one household inside Monarch Money. What they do is change, instead of gifts and donations, we have partner one spending, partner two spending, and you create groups on each other's spending. So there's tons of workarounds to still manage a successful separate or partially joint budget inside Monarch. Just know that that shared feature does not affect anything. We still need to use those little workarounds. The shared feature also does not affect reoccurring. It does not affect goals. And that is about it. It really does just affect your reporting and your accounts. So one of the scenarios that I get asked about this shared feature the most so far is, what if you want to be able to assign a person to these accounts without giving them access to your Monarch? Well, in this case, you do have a slight workaround in order to do that, but it is possible. So if you have your kids or a parent or someone in your household that you do want to monitor their accounts, you're maybe tracking their budget or spending, but you don't want to give them access or full access to your account. So here's what you're going to do. You're going to go on to that gear icon to go to that members, to the members settings here. Once there, you'll have that option to add another member for free. So at this point, you just need to put in an email that is not the person that you're trying to add, because you don't want to give them access. So you can use an old junk email, just an email of yours that isn't already connected to a Monarch account, because we have to have only one email per Monarch account per user. So you can't use your current email. You have to use some kind of junk email. If you don't have one, that's okay. There's this hack little trick where you can just create an alias for your email, and you can set up an account that way. So to do an alias, all you need to do is type in your email right here. Once you have your email in here, all you have to do is right before the @ sign. So at the end of the name of your email and where the @ sign is, you're going to put a little plus icon there. After that plus, you want to put something there to indicate what this alias is. So this could be your 123 alias. You could also put the name of the person you're like adding, right? So if this is, you want to create your mom's profile, your son, your spouse, or whoever it is that you're trying to add as a household member, you can put whatever you want there. You can put up made up words, you can put a jumble of letters or numbers here. Doesn't matter. Just put something here to help you create a username off of this new alias. All the email, the invites, all the notifications are still going to go to your email. It's going to go to taylor@gmail.com. The alias just helps direct it to that same place and be able to create a separate login. So that's how you create an alias email. If you weren't aware of this before, there you go. You can use this for a lot of different services too. This isn't just a Monarch thing. This is something you can use if you ever need it. The invitations right here, whether you choose a partner or a family member, it doesn't matter. It has no effect on any of the features. I think this might just be for Monarch, so it doesn't matter. Just go ahead and click something and send that invite. That way you can add a whole household to this account without giving them access. And then that way you have a new profile. You can add them to the shared views here or select their ownership for the shared views and help see those finances split even more detailed. Now remember, you do still need to go to your email, accept that invite, create a login for that alias, so you do have a whole other login. So that's just something to manage of itself. But if you ever want to remove them, it's super easy to remove them. But if you go that route of creating an alias, make sure you turn off notifications for those aliases so you don't get bombarded with your email. You will get twice the amount of notifications, one for your email, one for your alias email, all in the same inbox, and it will get a little hectic. So once you create that alias account, make sure you turn off notifications. That'll save you some time, and you probably won't have to get into it much after that. The profile is created and you can now use it just fine. If you are still figuring out how to use Monarch Money with separate accounts and to create a budget for your separated households, then I really recommend joining the Getting Started with Monarch Money course that I have available. It is the basics of getting your setup, also information on how to do this if you do have separate finances. So because the shared features did not change anything about budgeting, this course will help you set up your budget in a way that will allow you to still have that separated view as you are planning your budget. So join us. We have weekly live calls, tons of Q&A opportunities, and lots of courses to help you make sure you're getting the most out of Monarch, but also learning the best practices when it comes to creating cash flow systems and budgets. Let me know if you have any questions or how you've used shared features. I'd love to hear more use cases or scenarios that you've found success in when budgeting with your partner or family members. So thank you so much.